everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome to day 13 of my Cricut Craft Gift Guide. I'm really looking forward to this tutorial because we are going to be taking a fun spin on the Cricut Joy insert cards, and we are going to be actually using the Cricut Joy to cut out a gift card holder on the inside of the card. So gift cards are one of those popular gifts that you can give, so I thought it would be fun to give a little spin on how you can make it even more fun and create a really fun card to base your little gift card around. So I just have a little Starbucks gift card. Of course, you can get any type of gift card that you would like. You are just going to need the actual measurements of your card. And then for other things that we're going to be using is I have a standard Cricut Joy gift card. You can use any type of card that you would like. I have a tutorial on how to use craft store cards in the Cricut Joy, and I'll put that up in the corner. But I loved this little color. It's going to kind of go with the theme that I'm going with. So I have this little pink card. I have my card mat. I have my standard grip mat because we are also going to be cutting some iron-on. We are going to be ironing on paper today to do some little embellishment work. I also have a little cute pack of Christmas paper that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. It's really pretty, and it has some really fun Christmas textures and little prints. So I really fell in love with it when I saw it, and there's a really cute print that I want to use in this craft today. Okay, and then we have a Cricut Joy pen, spatula, weeding tool, scissors, and then I have some cardstock because we're also going to be using some cardstock. Okay, so all that being said, the Cricut Joy is the machine that we're going to be using for day 13. I'm also going to go ahead and get a little measurement real quick for my card. So I am about 3.5 inches by about 2.25. Okay, so we'll use those when we go into design space. And then let's do our little question of the day so we know what we are chatting about in the comments today. I need to put some more in here. Okay, so our question of the day will be, share a TV show that you have been watched. Oh, I would really love this, especially since we are still definitely safe at home in our area. So we have been doing a little bit of binge watching, and so we need some new ideas for some TV shows. So definitely give me your answers to that. My answer is Grey's Anatomy. I feel like we've been watching it for a couple of years now because there's so many seasons, but my husband and I love to watch it. Okay, let's go into design space and get everything ready, and it's going to be a cute little card. I'm really excited to see this come to life because my vision for it is really cute, and I think it's going to turn out sweet.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, even though we are working with a pre-made Cricut Joy card, we are going to still create a template so that we know how to design and size all of the other elements that are going on the card or within the card. So I'm going to come over to Shapes, and I am going to make a vertical template for a vertical Cricut Joy card. So I'm going to unlock it, and my width is going to be 4.25 and my height will be 5.5. Now if you're working with a horizontal card, you will just switch those numbers around. Okay, so this is going to be a light pink card, so I can just make this light pink, and I can even get a little bit lighter if I want to be specific. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be making a design for the front and the inside, I'm going to duplicate it just so I have 2 copies here. Okay, so let me bring that up so we have a little bit of a bigger screen. Okay, so let's start with our gift card. So we're going to start with the inside of our card. I'm going to come over to Images, and I am going to search for Insert Card. And when you search for Insert Card, you are given the little 4 corners that are made for creating the Cricut Joy insert cards. So I am going just to select which one I would like to use, and I think I'm going to just use this basic one right here with the straight lines. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and insert my image. Now what I'm going to do is, with Shift held down on my keyboard, I am going to use this toggle and just rotate that horizontally. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this, and I'm going to come up to my width, and I'm going to make that 3.5, and I'm going to make my height 2.25, and that is the size. It's actually sized up a little bit, but it's my rough measurement for my little gift card. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this right here. So my goal is that it's going to cut out of my inside of my card so that I have a little place to just tuck my little gift card in there. That way I'm just not tossing it into the card, or other things that I usually do is tape my gift card inside a card. I just thought this would look really fun and a little bit more intentional. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pen, the Cricut Joy pen, to write a sentiment inside of the card. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to come over to text. I am going to come up to font, and I'm going to filter on this right side. It says filter. I'm going to filter for writing fonts because I am using the pen, and when you filter for writing fonts, it gives you the list of fonts that are good with the Cricut Joy pen or any Cricut pen that you're using. I'm actually going to search for the font that I'd like. It's called Knickerbocker. It's a really sweet little font and I really like it. With that selected, I am going to go ahead and write my sentiment, and I am going to say a gift of, and then I'm going to hit the return key on my keyboard to go to the next line, Jingle Java, and exclamation point. So if you'll notice right here, we have our O filled in. Come here. Okay, we have our O filled in, and we have our little dots to our J's and I's filled in. So what we need to do is we need to have our text selected, and we need to come up to line type, and right now it's set to cut, and we need just to set it to draw. Then it goes ahead and resolves all of those little issues. Then what we're going to do is come up to alignment and say center, so it centers our sentiment. Come to line spacing and decrease the line spacing so that it decreases the space between the top line and the bottom line and brings those together. So that looks just about right. Okay, so now I'm just going to size this down and place it inside my card. Okay, and I think that that size looks really, really sweet. Again, you can say whatever you'd like. I thought this was kind of cute and fitting for giving a coffee card. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my sentiment and I'm going to take my corner cut. So I'm going to make sure those are both selected, and I am going to attach those because I like, actually before I attach them, let me come and center them horizontally just to make sure they were so close. Okay, so now that everything is aligned appropriately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach them, and this is just going to tell my Cricut that when it comes time to get this designed on the actual card with my machine, it's going to place these cuts and also write in the exact place that I have placed them on the screen. So now what I can do is I can hide my little square here, which is now a rectangle, but I can hide that because it was just being used as a template. So now I can move on and I can do the front of my card. So I thought it would be fun. I'm going to be using a little nutcracker themed scrapbook paper, so I thought it'd be fun to put a little nutcracker on the front. So I am going to come over to images and I am just going to search for nutcracker. And I am going to scroll through here. There's a lot of cute options and I really like this one right here. So I'm going to select that and say insert images. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate him once, and then with my duplicated version, let me bring it down here so you can see, I'm going to come to this contour button and I am going to say hide all contours, and that leaves me with the outline filled in of the nutcracker. So now what I can do is I'm actually going to cut this out of white cardstock. So I'll just make that white, and then I am going to bring this to the front, and this is going to be cut out of the vinyl, actually the glitter iron-on, and so I'm going to make that a bright pink. So I can place that right on top, and then those will be placed on one on top of another. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this over to my little card here and just size that how I'd like it, and that is just about right for the size of my card. I think that's going to be really, really cute. Okay, so now what I will do is hide my card template because I don't need that anymore. I just was using it for sizing purposes and visual purposes. And now what I can do is I can come over, make sure my Joy is selected, and I can say make it. I'm actually going to be using multiple ways today because I'm going to be using multiple mats. I'll be using my Cricut Joy card mat as well as just a standard grip mat. So I'm going to click on this option and say done. Now I'm going to tell each layer what mat it's going to be on. So for this first one, this is going to be out of cardstock. So I am going to select on mat. That's just going to be a traditional mat. And then for my next layer, this is my little sentiment and my little gift card cutout holders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say on card mat, and then I am going to say I'm using a 4.25 by 5.5 card. Okay, so now that I have that ready just like that, I am going to just center this. Let me head back into the other screen really quick and just make this a different color so that you can really see what this is going to look like. Okay, so what I did is I just went back into the other screen and I made my little corner cuts a pink color. That way you could see it better on this screen. It doesn't matter what color they are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again make this selection that my card is a 4.25 by 5.5, and then you need to manually drag it to where you would like it. So this little pink section is your actual card when you make that selection of material size, so you can just visually center it where you'd like it. I am trying to do something right in the middle if possible, so that looks just about close enough for my eye. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is do my final mat, and this is going to be my iron-on, so I will just say on mat. Okay, and then for this one, I will make sure to mirror my image because I'm working with iron-on for this particular mat. Then I'm going to go ahead and select continue. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to do my sentiment and my little cuts first. So I'm just going to select that mat first. If you ever want to do one mat over the other, you just need to go in and actually just click on it, and that will be the mat that is going to be cut. Then you can click on whichever mat you want to do next. Otherwise, it just defaults to going from top to bottom. But if you ever want to do anything differently, you just click on the mat that you want to start with. Okay, so I am going to go in here and browse all materials, and I am just going to say insert cardstock. For my white piece, I'm going to just say cardstock. The medium cardstock will be just fine. And then for my iron-on, which is going to be a glitter iron-on, I will come in here and I'll say Smart Iron-On Glitter. This isn't actual Smart Iron-On, it's just regular Cricut Iron-On, but I'm going to see if this works, so we'll test it out. Okay, so I will say done, and we will start with the insert cardstock. So it's telling me to load my black pen first, and then to load my card in the card mat and into the machine, and then up next will be the blade. Later in the tutorial, we will be pressing glitter iron-on onto cardstock, so I'm going to go ahead and look at my heat settings on the heat guide real quick. So I'm going to select Cricut EasyPress 2. I am going to say for my heat transfer material, I'll go down to glitter, and then for my base material, I will say cardstock. I'm going to use a Cricut EasyPress matte, and I will say apply. It's going to tell me my heat settings, so 290 degrees for 30 seconds with light pressure and a cool peel. All right, and then we also will preheat our paper, it looks like, for 5 seconds. So we will go ahead and do that when it comes time, and it's going to be really cute.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my card mat and take the little protective sheet off. I'm going to take my card and I am going to open it all the way up and then fold it inside out. Then I will take the back side of the card and I will place it under this little sleeve just like normal, and then I will place the front over that sticky top of the mat. I'm going to open up my machine here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the pen first. So I'm just going to open up the little clamp, take the blade out, put my marker cap on the top just so that I know where it is, and then just drop it right into the little clamp here. And then I'll just close the clamp and load my mat. So now again, it's going to write the sentiment first, and then after it's done writing the sentiment, Design Space will prompt me to load my blade again. So I'll go ahead and say go because everything looks aligned. Okay, so it's all done with the pen. I'm going to go ahead and remove the pen, and then I'm going to place my blade right back inside and shut the clamp and then select go on my screen. So while that is doing the little cutouts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my little cardstock and place it on my standard grip mat because that is going to be the next mat to cut. Okay, so I can go ahead and unload. That was very quick because it's just the little corners. And then I'm just going to bend my mat and take my card right off. Okay, so now this is the inside of our card, and we have the 4 little cutouts. One didn't quite get out. There we go. Okay, we have our 4 little cutouts, and we have our little sentiment. Okay, so now I can go ahead and load my next mat in, and then I set my setting to medium cardstock, and I can go ahead and say go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unload this, and this is a pretty new standard grip mat, so what I'm going to do is take it and turn it upside down, and then just gently take the paper off just so it doesn't curl or anything. So whenever you're working with paper, you should make sure you bend the mat and not the paper. I really do that with all of my materials though. So I have my little tiny outline of my nutcracker. It's super cute. Okay, so now I'm going to take my iron-on. I'm going to locate the shinier side. There is an obvious shiny side, and I'm going to place that shiny side face down on the mat. And once I have that all ready to go, I can load it into my Joy and get it cut out. I actually selected all materials in Cricut Design Space and found the glitter iron-on setting, so I am actually using just the glitter iron-on setting. Okay, and I'm also going to trim down my pattern paper, and I'm going to trim that down to 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And this is going to go right on the front of my card. I'm going to go ahead and preheat my EasyPress. Again, it's going to be preheated to 290 degrees, and it's going to be pressed for 30 seconds. Okay, so my iron-on is completely done, so I'm going to unload my mat, and then I'm going to cut off my extras. I have a little bit of extra there that I don't want to waste, and then we can get this weeded out. So I think this is going to turn out so cute. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, and I thought it'd be fun to do colors that were not traditional for Christmas, and I really love pinks and teals together. I think they look really, really pretty. So I think this is going to turn out really, really cute. Okay, so now with it's still shiny side face down, we are going to go ahead and weed out all of our excess. So we're going to weed out everything that we don't want in our design. And it's a little bit intricate, but that's okay because between iron-on and adhesive vinyl, if you have an intricate one, I always prefer to do iron-on for projects like this because they're easier to weed when they're really small with iron-on. Okay, so I'm just going through and weeding out all of the little middle pieces, just kind of holding it up every once in a while to get an idea of what comes next. Also, you can bring up this design in Design Space so that you can get a good idea for what needs to be weeded and what needs to stay in the design. And it just kind of helps kind of provide a little aid while you're weeding out everything. But this is weeding out super easy. And the EasyPress is all ready to go. Okay, so I have that all weeded out. It looks really, really cute. It did take me a little while to weed out, so just know that. Let me get a little paper here so you guys can see. But it did take a little while, but it turned out really, really cute, and it was worth it. So, and I enjoy stuff like this, so I don't mind taking a little bit of time to weed stuff out. And again, the reason why I decided, I'm just going to fix his little smile here. It kind of got a little crooked, made him take on a different expression. The reason I decided to use iron-on, well, first and foremost, this was the color that I wanted, and I only had it in iron-on, and I thought this would be cute. But I also like that the glitter iron-on is really thick, and so I thought it would add a little bit of fun texture and dimension along with the glitter. So now what we're going to do is just make sure all of our little pieces are cleaned up, and then what we're going to do is grab our little EasyPress mat and start pressing this onto our little cardstock. So we have our little cardstock base here, and that's what we're going to be pressing it onto, and he's going to look so cute. Okay, so I have my little base here, and then I have my iron-on, so I'm just going to line that up and place it on there. Now the best thing about iron-on is that if you don't have it quite even, you can peel it back up and fix it, but I'm just going to get that the best that I can, and I can even actually turn it around this way, and if I do it this way, it's actually a little bit easier to line up. So I'll just kind of start at the feet, and then line it up from there. That looks, whoops, it was perfect, and then I messed it up. Okay. Okay, so now I have that lined up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take another piece of cardstock, and I am going to place it on right under my little area that I am pressing, because if for some reason this shifts, I would rather it press onto another piece of paper than onto my mat, if that makes sense. So now that I have it lined up, I'm going to take my EasyPress and I'm just going to set it right on top. So it's 290 for 30 seconds and it said light pressure. Okay, so it is done. Now what I'm going to do is take my press off, and then I am going to let this completely cool because this is a cool peel. So I'm going to take this off of my little area here, and it did a great job. It didn't press onto it, but I wanted to be safe. And I'm just going to place this on my table here, and I can even place it face down, but I'll just place it there. That way it can start cooling, and we'll get peeled up and put our card together. So while that is cooling, what I'm going to do is, again, this is the inside of my card, so I'm going to go ahead and close it, but I will start getting the inside, or the outside, all decorated. So I have my little piece of cardstock. I just have some little Elmer's glue stick, and you can use whatever adhesive that you would like. I'm also going to use up some little pop-up dots for my nutcracker, just to give my card some dimension. But I'm going to bring my little paper here and just place it right on the front of my card, just like this. Looks perfect. Okay, so this is completely cooled, so now I can just peel away this little transfer sheet, and then I'm left with my cute little nutcracker. Isn't he cute? I love how he looks. So I'm going to grab some pop-up dots so we can put him on the front, then we'll put our little gift card inside and we'll be all ready. So I have just purchased these from Hobby Lobby, but you can get these anywhere. So I'm going to get the smallest. Mine has a variety of sizes, so I'll just get the smallest that I have, and then I will go ahead and place them just kind of around my little nutcracker. And I'm doing this just so that he will be raised up off of my card a little bit more. I think that will be really, really cute. Okay, so now they have a little paper on the back, so I'm just going to peel that off, and then we will have double-sided adhesive. Okay, so I think this is a really good idea for coworkers or teachers. This is also a really good idea for, so it's just really fun for those people that you just usually do a little gift card or something sweet to. This is a fun way to just put a little bit more thought into it and make it even cuter. Okay, so there is the front. See how it's kind of raised off of the front of the card? I love how that looks. It's so cute. I love him. Okay, so now I'm going to take my card and open it up, and then I will place my little gift card inside. So again, we have these 4 little insert little cutouts. So it gives us a little area just to slide in our gift card, and my gift card, like most gift cards, is really stiff, so it's not as easy as when we usually do just the paper insert card, but it's in there and it looks really, really cute. So there is the inside. You have a little insert place for your card. It sits there really, really sweetly. I'm just going to tuck that in just a little bit more, just like that. Okay, there we go. Sits there really nice. You have your little sentiment, and then on the outside is the cute little outside of the card, and it's all glittery and so sweet. I love how this turned out. Okay, so I feel like it's just missing a little bit of something, so I'm going to grab some little embellishments that I have and give it a little bit more of a little 3-dimensional look. So I'm just going to take these little round embellishments that I have. They're little jewel embellishments, and I'm just going to place them kind of haphazardly around my little card. I think this will look really, really cute, plus add some dimension all over the card, which will be fun as well. Sometimes you just need to add just a little bit more, and respectively, when you're crafting, you also need to know when to stop too, because sometimes less is more, but I thought it just needed just a little bit more of something. So I'm going through, and every time there's a little space between a nutcracker, I'm just placing a little dot, and I think that's kind of looking cute. It's giving it a little bit of a polka dot effect, which I really think is so sweet. Okay, so here's the final look. I think it turned out really, really cute. I love the raised edition of the little jewels on the side, and I love the texture of the glitter. I think it all just came together really, really pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Very easy to just bring to life a little gift card and make it really fun. So we learned how to write inside a Cricut Joy card, and then also we learned how to make a little gift card insert, so that makes it really look a little bit more polished and intentional when they open it up. So I love how this turned out. Hopefully you guys did as well. Please be sure to answer the question of the day, and also be sure to give this a thumbs up. We have a couple more days left, and I hope you've been enjoying the gift guide. All right, I'll see you in the next video.